My name is Francis Townsend. I'm 22, and 2 weeks ago, I stood on the graduation stage at Whitmore University in front of 3,000 people, delivering the keynote speech as a Whitfield Scholar, while my parents, who refused to fund my education and claimed I wasn't worth the investment, sat in the front row, completely unaware I was even there, their faces pale and frozen as if someone had pressed pause on their entire world. And though my twin sister Victoria had received every privilege, from private schooling to vacations and even a brand new car at 16, I had to carve my path entirely alone, relying on part-time jobs, scholarships, and relentless determination. Starting that journey 4 years earlier, the moment I learned that despite my intelligence, drive, and potential, my parents saw me as a bad investment. And while Victoria got to attend Whitmore University with full funding, I was relegated to Eastbrook State, a solid public university, $25,000 a year, and I realized that if I wanted my education, my success, and my voice to be heard, I had to do everything myself, from finding merit scholarships to managing 3 jobs simultaneously, calculating every penny I earned, and surviving on 4 hours of sleep per night. Instant ramen dinners, secondhand textbooks, and a tiny shared room near campus, pushing myself past exhaustion, doubt, and loneliness while witnessing my sister's carefree life filled with beaches, margaritas, and hotel rooms to herself. And every family event where I was either cropped out of photos, relegated to the edge, or forced to watch from the sidelines, realizing early on that no amount of pleading, crying, or proving myself would change their perception. And instead, I made a promise to myself to prove what I was capable of, to become extraordinary without anyone's support. And through countless nights of tears, calculation, and effort, I discovered the Whitfield Scholarship, an impossible-sounding full-ride opportunity with a living stipend, awarded to only 20 students nationwide. And with the help of my professors, especially Dr. Margaret Smith, who recognized my potential and mentored me, I spent 3 months completing essays, background checks, interviews, and references, all while maintaining a 4.0 GPA, excelling in classes, working early mornings at the Morning Grind Cafe, cleaning residence halls on weekends, and assisting in the economics department, all so I could close the gap between what I had and what I needed. And when the acceptance email finally arrived, I was on the sidewalk outside the cafe, sobbing ugly, heaving tears that strangers couldn't ignore, overwhelmed by relief, exhaustion, and triumph, knowing I had achieved what my parents told me was impossible, that I had become a Whitfield Scholar with full tuition and the right to transfer to any partner university, including Whitmore, Victoria's school. And for the first time in my life, I held power over my own story, my success, and my future. And when I did transfer to Whitmore for my final year, I kept my achievements private, knowing the moment my parents would see me as their equal, if not better, would be the moment of truth. And as I stood on that stage in my gold valedictorian sash, medallion glinting in the sun, ready to deliver my speech, I watched their confusion turn to recognition, and then to pale, stricken silence. Victoria frozen in disbelief as I took the microphone, calm and steady. And I told the audience, without pointing fingers, about the 3 jobs, the sleepless nights, the instant ramen dinners, the secondhand textbooks, and the countless ways I built my future from nothing, emphasizing that success isn't about proving others wrong, but proving to yourself that you are capable. And as the applause rose thunderously, my parents finally looked at me, really looked at me, not through me. And for the first time in my life, I realized that validation wasn't something to seek from them, but something I had earned, built, and discovered within myself. And while the pain of their neglect, favoritism, and indifference didn't vanish entirely, it no longer controlled me. It had fueled me. And that quiet emptiness it left became clarity, motivation, and purpose, allowing me to navigate the complex emotions of family, rivalry, and self-worth.
Learning that forgiveness is a choice for your own peace, not necessarily for the other person, and that love, support, and recognition must be sought from yourself if it isn't given. And as I reflected on every late-night study session, every missed party, every tear shed alone, every moment I thought I couldn't go on, I recognized the resilience, discipline, and courage I had cultivated. Skills that not only earned me scholarships and honors, but shaped the woman I am today. Independent, strong, and unshakable, capable of creating opportunities rather than waiting for them. And even when my parents finally reached out months after graduation, apologizing, tearful, confused, and overwhelmed by what they had ignored or dismissed, I approached the conversation with calm, stating that I didn't need their approval anymore, that I had proven my worth to myself, and that my life, built on my effort, sacrifice, and vision, was mine to navigate. And in the months following, I established my new life in Manhattan, working at a top consulting firm, pursuing my MBA, maintaining relationships with friends who valued me, setting boundaries with family, and even giving back anonymously to students in need, paying forward the scholarships that had changed my life. All the while embracing the lessons learned from neglect, favoritism, and the pain of being undervalued. Understanding finally that your worth is not measured by who notices you, by who funds you, or by who acknowledges you, but by your own recognition of your strength, your persistence, and your ability to create, to overcome, and to rise above. And now, as I stand today, reflecting on the journey from that small bedroom with a dying laptop to the stage at Whitmore University, I am proud. Not because my parents finally saw me, or because Victoria was shocked into humility, but because I did not wait for anyone to tell me I was enough. I did not wait for validation to begin living. And I realized that every struggle, every rejection, and every sleepless night built not just my achievements, but my character, my independence, and my understanding of what it means to be truly free. And that freedom, the ability to define your life on your own terms, is priceless, unshakable, and worth every sacrifice made. And I know now that the girl who once begged for approval no longer exists, replaced by a woman who knows her worth, has earned her voice, her success, her independence. And while the memories of neglect, favoritism, and absence still sting, they no longer control the narrative, and the future remains open, vast, and entirely mine to build. Reminding me that your path may be difficult, filled with setbacks, doubters, and unfair circumstances, but with persistence, strategy, and belief in yourself, you can not only survive, but thrive, rewrite expectations, and stand on a stage before thousands, proving that you too are enough.